So what was as I was saying the Green Bull running away from Shanks, man, that made me so mad. I was like, bro, Marines ain't really shit. It just made me think that. I'm like, bro, Marines ain't shit. And then I'm like, I really doubt that. What's his name? Garp was. And then I was like, but since then, I've calmed down. I take back everything I said about Garp and Smudge because it was just assumptions
Yeah,
for the most part. But the
yeah.
the the Kobe thing, we agree on the Kobe thing. I was just trying to put Garp down. That's it. But yeah,
You was
I
trying.
this just
What's your problem with Garp, man? Tell
no, I
me.
don't have a problem with Garp. It's Green Bull, man. I'm like, bro, this is just crazy to me.
Well, why are you trying to put Garp down?
It's like how the freak is like I just don't know. I just can't see it, man. I just can't see it. Garp and Roger, like I can't see that. I couldn't see it when I was reading this chapter. I was like, this man running away from Shanks and Emperor, and he's an admiral, and he was talking so much shit. Like he's like, I'm an admiral. How can I lose to a commander like you? I'm an admiral. And then when Shanks comes, he leaves.
Yeah. I
And then yeah,
mean,
Greenbow.
I mean, like you said, maybe the order, right? You said Akainu ordered him
Yeah,
or whatever. I mean,
yeah, I kind of did give that order, but whatever. It is what it is.
yeah, and again, I think there is a like I'm not gonna say a gap, but I do think Yonko are stronger than Admirals, right? Not maybe I don't think it's by as much as people might make it, right? And I think it also
Not
depends on which admirals you speak of, you know. But I think
Greenbow.
I think any time if an Admiral and Yonko fought, I would say it would be a high diff fight, but in Yonko's favor. Like they'll probably win 7 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 7 times out of 10. Just being generous to the admirals. Because it depends on what admiral again, it depends on which admiral we talk about. I think Kizaru could be potentially top two, if not the strongest admiral. Top two, only after Akainu.
To me, I mean, yeah, I mean, if we're talking about right now, yeah, he's top two.
But Aokiji's still alive. He's not admiral, but I would say I would put him over
What?
Aokiji as well.
I mean, if I included him, I don't know. I don't want to argue this
Yeah, I'm not
because
trying to argue that either. I'm just saying that's what I would say. But I would think the original three admirals will be able to take. I think each of them would be able to take a Yonko pretty far in the fight. Like Kizaru was toying with Whitebeard at one point. Now, be it Whitebeard was weaker. He was like sick. His sickness was catching up to him. But Kizaru was toying with Whitebeard, like where Whitebeard was having a full on fight with Akainu, and I think he had the advantage over Aokiji when they did a short little clash. Kizaru was the only one to really toy with Whitebeard, you know, and Whitebeard
I
couldn't
mean,
really do anything about it at that time.
when when it came to Akainu and Kizaru, I mean not Akainu and Kizaru. When it came to even what's it called? Akainu versus Whitebeard. To me, like I know Whitebeard got him to bleed a lot, but like that's normal. I mean, we've seen Luffy bleed a lot, but we've seen all of these characters. I mean, but I'm that's not saying he wasn't going all out against Whitebeard, but I don't know. It's just a normal occurrence to see characters bleeding when they fight a tough
Yeah,
opponent.
I get it, but why I say that is Kizaru was the only one who went against Whitebeard, and Whitebeard couldn't do anything to him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of my point. Like
It's because Kizaru kept the Metakop back. He's just a funny guy. He's just a troll. He just kept going back, back, back.
yeah, but my point is Whitebeard did no damage to him. You know what I'm saying? He did zero damage to him. Kizaru was the only admiral that was able to go up. Well, I don't remember. I remember Aokiji bleeding, but I don't remember. Or I remember like him almost getting stabbed by Whitebeard, and like Whitebeard almost had him. It's just he had to like dodge, but Kizaru was just toying with Whitebeard the whole time. Is kind of my point. But I, to me, speed
Yeah,
is like one of
and
them
then
things, man. Like it's like speed is one of them things where it's hard to compete against. It's hard to compete against because you got to be able to you got to be able to land an attack, and if you can't land an attack on somebody who's too fast for you, you can't beat them.
yep. But
Yeah.
yeah, the Admirals, man, they got put in a graveyard because of Greenbow, man. People will not let this up. Shanks shows what a Yonko is. Shanks showed the power of a Yonko.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't
it's
think
funny,
that's.
man.
I can't. I feel as though it only kind of proved what we already kind of always thought, right? Like it just shows that Yonko are superior to Admirals. Now, again, I don't believe the gap is like as big as some people might believe it is, but uh, it it still is.
Oh
Yonko
yeah,
are stronger. You know what I mean? I still believe that. Now, and I think Akainu might be potentially Yonko level, as especially him being the fleet admiral. But and I would also argue Kizaru as well. I don't have much to really back that up. I think Akainu's position kind of, in his portrayal, kind of backs him being the strongest admiral up. Me with Kizaru, that's more of a fan canon thing. I kind of look at the potential of Kizaru. I kind of judge Kizaru on his potential and the fact that every time we see him, he's never really serious. He's always trolling. And the
yep.
fact we never seen Kizaru go all out, but we've seen Akainu go all out. So that's it's a little more baseless me arguing for Kizaru, but that's just one thing I believe. It is what it is.
I've seen a lot of good admirals and good arguments made for each admiral and how maybe they were going all out at Marineford or maybe they weren't going all out at Marineford. I've seen good arguments for all three. But
I
yeah,
think
I
Akainu
guess
was though. I think Akainu was. He had no choice too. Whitebeard really put the pressure on him to have to go all out. I don't think Akainu was holding back. If he was going to hold back against Whitebeard, he would have died. You know what I mean?
hey, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not the Arthur of the story.
I'm saying you wouldn't say Akainu didn't go all out. Like you think Akainu was holding back?
I'm not gonna say he was holding back. I'm just gonna say he didn't finish his job. I mean, don't you find that weird? When he came back, he didn't even bother to attack Whitebeard. Maybe he just saw it as a waste of time, but who knows?
I'm trying to recall the whole situation. Like I haven't watched or read the Marineford arc in a while, but so I'm trying to
So,
recall.
Whitebeard, and then they were fighting head to head, blah, and then Whitebeard shatters the ground. Akainu survives. He comes back up, and he stops fighting Whitebeard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess, but it's still like Akainu was put in a position where he had to try hard, even if it was for a short period of time. He had to
Yeah, that is
survive.
true.
He had to survive that attack. He had to survive the onslaught Whitebeard was
Yeah.
putting on him.
But at the end of the day, in each encounter Whitebeard and Akainu had, one of them left with a hole, and the other one was just bleeding, a nosebleed,
Yeah, but
and not
again,
other.
Akainu had to throw. That was Akainu having a fight. You know what I'm saying? That was Akainu having to fight. Is my point. You know what I mean? He had to
Yeah,
fight.
Akainu was.
He had to try. He had to put effort in. You know what I'm saying? Where Kizaru didn't put as much effort in fighting Whitebeard. But like all I'm saying is Kizaru and Whitebeard, their encounter
Kizaru,
wasn't as go all out,
yeah,
and it wasn't go all out for Whitebeard either. But Kizaru was just toying with him. You know what I'm saying? But
it was just,
Akainu was pushed.
yeah. And then another. Oh yeah, if you go into the YouTube, I mean, go to the chat, the voice chat, like the chat for the voice chat that we're in right now, and
Uh,
tell me your thoughts on that image.
The chat that we're in now, or the chat the other
The
chat?
chat we're in. The chat we're in right now.
Oh, is that supposed to be like Pluton, possibly?
No, that's supposed to be that fact. Big Mom and Kaido went down to the island. Went down to
Oh,
the kingdom.
hold on. I'm like, what about it though?
I mean, what do you think that could can be? What do you think could happen from that? From them being down there?
Like, you are you saying that maybe they're at like Old Wano, pretty much?
Yeah, yeah. That's
Like
that's what
they're
I'm trying to
like
say.
we might see their bodies or something.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know like what happened with Kaido and Big Mom. You know, like I would have thought we would have like uncovered that by now. You know, maybe they got spit out of a volcano. You know, because
Maybe.
they seem like wherever they're around like possibly magma or something. You know,
Yeah.
so
And speaking of Kaido, you know, let's say, how do you think he would come back in the story? Like, what? How do you think like his character will be if he were to come back and was
like
alive
would he be
somehow?
bad? Would he be bad or would he be good? That what you mean?
I'm not gonna say bad or good because I don't know. You can't really like. How do you think his character would be? How do you think he will interact with the Straw Hats if he were still alive and were to reappear in the story?
He might. Well, seeing how Kaido was kind of like, because one thing he said, right? He said is Joy Boy is the person who defeats me, and as we know, Luffy defeated Kaido, so he might
It was a
look at
draw.
he. You said it was a draw.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a draw. I would love to believe that as well, but I
It
wouldn't
was a
say it
draw.
was a draw. I wouldn't say
They
it's
were
a
both.
draw. Uh
They were knocked out. They were both knocked out from what I seen. Luffy fell down, knocked down. Now they both knocked out. Nah, but continue.
I wouldn't say it was a draw though. He was knocked down, but at the end of the day, Kaido's the one that got pushed out of Wano at the end of the day, and Luffy's still in Wano. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a draw. Like I, I wouldn't say it's a draw, but I would love to believe that. Like I really would, but you know, I think Kaido would probably look at Luffy as Joy Boy, and maybe he might actually respect Luffy, seeing that he is Joy Boy. You know, I,
I don't know why, but I want him to be dead
you
because
want him to be
it.
dead.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like who would he fight? Like let's say he joined the Straw Hats and he were to fight someone. I just don't know. Like let's say he fought one of the girls, say,
Yeah,
Leslie, maybe that would be good. But it would be so weird because it would be weird to see his personality as an ally.
hey, I'm still holding hope. I'm still holding hope that Blackbeard takes Kaido's devil fruit. I'm still holding hope. You know, that's
But
what.
like,
Yeah. If Kaido dies, I want his death to be like super meaningful, right? Because I want to see Blackbeard with the strongest Logia, quote unquote. You know, that's his words. You know, being the most powerful Logia, I guess. The Yami Yami, right? Uh, the most powerful Promethea being the Goro Goro, right?
yep,
And then the most powerful Zone, which technically might be Luffy's if we're getting technical. Luffy might have the most powerful Zone, but I'll settle for
mm,
Kaido because I don't think he's going to take Luffy's devil fruit. You know, I'll settle for Kaido's devil fruit. You know, so him being like and I know a lot of people their argument is if we see Blackbeard with Kaido's devil fruit, it would just be a rehash. You know, it'd just be another Kaido. You know, I completely disagree with that because I think it would be Blackbeard able to turn into a dragon, but he's able to also use his darkness abilities and his earthquake abilities in dragon form. So he would bring a new aspect to the whole dragon uh zone devil fruit. You know what I mean? I personally think it would be different because he wouldn't be just throwing the same attacks as Kaido. He'd be throwing some blast breaths infused with darkness. You know what I'm saying? Maybe infused with thunder or earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I think that'd be ridiculous.
That would be pretty cool to see the blue dragon doing that stuff. It would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like the Yami Yami no Mi might be the zone, the strongest zone that he has gotten and has been written as. Because it seems to it because like Luffy's gum gum fruit, it fits multiple categories
So
of
what you're saying is I want to get this right. I want to get this right. What you're saying is the Yami Yami no Mi is a zone?
might be a zone. I'm not gonna say 100% because I don't
No, that's
I
fine.
don't
I'm
know.
just saying, like, just kind of speculation.
Yeah, it's just
Talking. We
speculation.
don't.
I
We
don't
don't
know.
know. We don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, no,
I
because
asked that because I agree with that. I actually agree with you 100% on that.
his devil fruit, it fits Logia. Well, actually, yeah, it fits Logia, I guess. It fits I don't know about zone because we really haven't seen the zone aspect of it yet. Like Luffy's, we didn't see its zone aspect until recently.
Mm-hmm.
And fits the Paramecia. It fits zone. I mean Logia and Paramecia, because darkness is a natural element. Wow, and then the Paramecia he can blow it away. Like he has
Mm-hmm.
to be in contact and stuff.
Yeah, I agree though, because you
Uh,
like I've said my theory before, right? Like you heard my theory on the Yami Yami, the
yeah,
possibly
yeah,
being like
you have,
the brother fruit of the Gumu Gumu. Because when you look at it,
yeah,
they look the same or they look alike. Like the Gumu Gumu and the Yami Yami, they're both purple. I would say the Yami Yami, the leaves are a little different. They come out. Like they stick out where
yeah,
the Gumu Gumu is more smooth. It's more rounded, right? And I think the Gumu Gumu had like a bushy like stock coming out the top, and then the Yami Yami has like a stem, or maybe the other way around.
mm-hmm,
I don't really remember. And then it would be
mm-hmm,
like when you look at it, right? When we think of it, Luffy has the Hito Hito no Mi Nika, and we look at Nika being the sun god.
mm-hmm.
Nika being the sun god. Where the Yami Yami could be like maybe if Nika had a rival, possibly the moon god. And when we look at moon, we associate it with the night, darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the moon.
The
I honestly don't know. I don't know the moon god. It would be interesting to see the moon god because in most depictions I've seen, I think it's 50-50.
mm-hmm.
The moon god and the sun god. I think sometimes the moon god is the good guy, sometimes the sun god is the good guy. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think in
From
this
what from what,
story, the moon god might be possibly bad. Possibly. I don't know. Because Nika is looked at as the sun god and he's looked at as good. You know. He's looked at as a
yeah.
good entity. And that would also and the one thing I believe that he will get. I just think Blackbeard's going to get another devil fruit. It may not be Kaido's devil fruit, but I think he's going to get another devil fruit because when we look at Blackbeard, his themes always coincide with 3, like the number 3, huh?
Yep, he got 4 blades, but gave what's his name? Shanks three scars.
3 scars. He carries 3 guns. He carries 3 guns. He has 3 scars. He has 3 skulls on his pirate flag. He's his the animal that Blackbeard is based on is a hippopotamus. Hippos have 3 hearts or 3 stomachs. They have 3 stomachs. So if he had 3 stomachs, that would kind of show that he could potentially have 3 devil fruits. You know what I mean? So, or
Yeah,
maybe Blackbeard already has 3 devil fruits. Maybe the original devil fruit he had allowed him to have 2 other devil fruits. You know what I mean? So maybe he's not going to get a new devil fruit because he already has 3 of them. Possibly. Like maybe that's why Blackbeard's body is so different because of that his original devil fruit. Like that's kind of my thinking. Huh?
Yeah, when it comes to Blackbeard's body, I really don't know what to think. Like I don't know what Oda could really do to show like what's wrong with Blackbeard's body.
Yeah.
But it will be it be interesting. And then I think I sent like this Japanese theory about how what's it called? Blackbeard might have been born with 3 heads or some stuff like that.
Oh,
It was
I
a
heard
pretty
it.
interesting thing, but I didn't. Huh?
I heard a triplet theory.
Yeah. Did you know he had sisters? I mean, he has sisters.
Blackbeard?
Yeah, Blackbeard has 2 sisters.
No, I didn't know that. Where'd you see that?
SBS.
Mm.
I don't know which one, but it wasn't SBS. The question was asked and it was answered.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific on which one.
Yeah.
But man, I'm just very curious of like what's going to happen. Oh yeah, and then there's this. I think it was Cube who mentioned this about what's it called? Morgan. Big News Morgan.
Yeah.
He believes Big News Morgan might. I also think this is also a possibility because you know how confident Big News Morgan was in Whole Cake Island when speaking about the West Generation and saying that the West Generation, one of them will emerge victorious and become Pirate King. Yeah. So basically, the idea is that Big News Morgan was a member of the what's it called? Roger Pirates.
Mm. I don't know. I don't know. I will have to see some evidence. I can't say. I don't know. It's possible. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But most of it is speculation. But it's because but it's mostly because of his confidence
Yeah.
in what he says about the West Generation, how one of them
Yeah.
will defeat or whatever.
Yeah. So
But it will.
what about hockey? What about this whole hockey thing? We seen Shanks throwing
Yeah,
hockey from the sea.
the hockey. I mean, it was pretty cool. The hockey. I just don't know what to think about the Conquerors hockey. And then him projecting his voice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not to see that because I mean we've seen voice be projected differently. I mean we've seen voices be projected in different ways. But this is the first time not the first time. I think this is the second time because I think Luffy did something similar.
Yeah.
This is the second time we've seen. No, he was angry, so I guess this could be seen as him projecting his emotions, but who knows? It was pretty interesting to see
Yeah.
or read.
Yeah.
I wonder what it could be. Maybe it could be voice of all things. Maybe it won't.
Yeah.
Maybe one can gain that ability.
Yeah. The whole breath of all, like I definitely think the voice of all things and breath of all things are definitely
Because
coincide with Conquerors hockey, but it's like
yeah,
one
and
of
you
them
know
things where
something.
like not everybody with Conquerors hockey could probably do.
Yeah, and then what was this thing? I think it's mostly observation, because instead of conquerors, because I went to the wiki page and was reading through this observation hockey, and then I think before I used what's it called, Kobe, he was hearing all these voices, all their pain, and then they
Yeah.
were explaining why they were in pain. They were talking about their family, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I read it, and then supposedly I don't know where they got this information from on the wiki.
Yeah.
But on the wiki it says that people who have strong enough emotions can control their emotions and trick people with observation hockey and make them emphasize with the person.
Yeah. that Kobe thing, man. I'm telling you, bro. All them little things Oda been giving us for Kobe, showing like how he's, bro, like that's just showing the man like that Oda has great things planned for Kobe. I'm telling you that now. He has great things planned for Kobe. That's why I always say Kobe is going to be the Garp to Luffy's Roger. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, it has nothing to do with them being equal in power. You know, we don't know how if Garp and Roger were like equal, or if Roger was solely stronger than Garp. We don't know, but
From
they had a special connection that wasn't just like some normal relationship. You know.
from what's it called? From from Garp's word, from Garp's words. Not my words, because you can't take them. I mean, you can take it literally, but it's just a timeline. That's it. From Garp's words, him and him and Roger have almost killed each other many times. Garp has put Roger in corners many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't know when this was. It could have been at the beginning of his piracy, like Luffy with Smoker.
Yeah.
Because Smoker put Luffy in a lot of life or death situations in the beginning of his piracy. So, but I'm not gonna say that it's the same for them. But it's still a possibility that
Yeah.
maybe Garp was only, putting maybe Roger was only in these situations when he was in the beginning.
Yeah.
But wow. And
Well,
I got a question. How do you think Aokiji will be in the future arcs? When the Blackbeard stuff happens, because I personally think that he will be a major part in that arc. I think he'll be a big part.
yeah. Maybe he fights like may I don't see him being loyal to Blackbeard first and foremost. I don't see him being loyal to Blackbeard. I think he might be potentially a member of Sword. I definitely could see Aokiji being a member of Sword. I could see him possibly taking on Kizaru, possibly. You know,
Kizaru.
yeah, because I don't know. That's tough. It's tough to guess. Like, because I think
Oh,
again, I think
you know,
I think there will be a split. I believe that there will be a split in the Marines, and I think Kizaru is going to be on the loyal side of like he's going to be on the loyalists, the world government loyalists, and then I think there's going to be the side of the Marines that are going to be like the rebels, right? They're going to rebel against the world government. I think Kizaru, like I'm always like, who's Kizaru going to fight, right? Who's Kizaru going to fight? I don't know if it's going to be like a Sanji versus Kizaru thing. That could be the case as well, you know, because a lot of people say like Luffy fights
Kizaru.
Akainu, Zoro fights Aokiji, and Kizaru fights Sanji. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't think Aokiji's going to be fighting against the Straw Hats, you know. And
Mm,
I think if anybody should fight Akainu, it should possibly be Sabo or something, you know.
if anyone, I mean, who honestly, actually, let me think about this. Who do I think will defeat him?
Who?
Akainu. Yeah,
Akainu.
yeah, I could see being Sabo. Yeah, Sabo probably. Yeah, Sabo.
But I also kind of has some speculation that Akainu could also be a part of Sword. You know, I know, it's a reach. I get it. It's a reach. I'll eat crow. Because it's most likely not going to be the case. Like I'm not. It's not like a theory that I'm like 100% on, or even like 75%. It's just kind of an inkling. It's just an inkling for me. It's like something that I think could potentially happen. I'll eat crow if it's wrong, fine. But if it's right, bruh, I'm telling you, if I'm right on this, hey,
Akainu being a member of
bookmark it.
Sword.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be
But
pretty shocking.
but
But
if
again,
but
then again,
hold on. Let
want
me
to.
finish. If Akainu is part of Sword, I would probably see Kizaru and Akainu fighting, and that be kind of both of their major fights. You
You
know what I
know,
mean?
I want to see Kizaru fight. Like, I want to see him. Actually, I can see why people want to see Kizaru and Sanji fight because I feel like that would probably be the most
The,
visually appealing fight for Kizaru
the
because
matchup will work as well. Because
yeah,
Sanji
I
will be able
mean,
to match up against his speed.
we don't know about all that, but
I'm saying comparative to anybody else you put in front of Kizaru. Kizaru will probably Sanji will probably have the best chance speed wise to match up with somebody like Kizaru. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's going to be as like it would be probably a case where Sanji has to become faster than light or something. You know what I mean?
mm,
So
that's something like that would be interesting to see. But
if they do
the whole
fight,
thing, I mean, the war, I don't know. This war could be so like it just could be so different. Like they could be battles at different places. We don't know if the Straw Hats will even be together. We don't know if the Marines. I mean,
true, true.
it's just very hard to predict how this could go.
Here's another
I mean, like,
here's another thing though. Here's another thing. Fujitara. Fujitara would be a good match against Kizaru because gravity can affect light. So
yeah, as of
Fujitara
right now,
could especially when the Marine if the Marines split, Fujitaro could be the person who has to take on Kizaru because he's the only person who could match up with him. Like Blackbeard and Fujitaro are probably the best matchups for Kizaru because, like, Blackbeard could create black holes. I mean, I don't know if they're as strong as like real black holes, but they do produce gravity as well, and Fujitaro can produce gravity that could probably affect Kizaru as well. You know,
as of right now, I don't think what's his name Fujitora would join the piracy sites. I mean, it depends on what happens. Maybe he will, because you can't just assume stuff. But from like right
mm,
now, his character, especially near the end of Dressrosa, when he wanted to attack Luffy, like he shows like he's willing to kill even the good pirates as
yeah,
long as pirates.
you're right. He
Because
is. He's a man of duty, but he's also the type to show like because he blinded himself because a lot of I forget the reason why, like the exact reason,
said
but
he saw
he blinded
something.
himself because what?
He said he saw something. I don't know what it was, but he saw
Yeah,
something.
Fujitaro at the moment he was in Dressrosa, he was still pretty dutiful, right? But as things go on, he seems capable of having a change of heart.
I mean, to me, I mean, the only reason why I even see the Straw Hats were able to leave Dressrosa is because of the people of Dressrosa.
Yeah, but
To be
but
honest,
but let's be real. Let's be real. If Fujitaro really wanted to like if he really wanted to like was really wanted to kill Luffy and was like dead set on it, I don't think they would have been able to stop him. His
I
ability.
mean,
Why couldn't he just while they were going off to the sea? Why couldn't he just use his gravity to pull him back in? He could,
I
and you can't say they were too far because this man could pull meteors from space or wherever the meteors are located, which are like probably like tens of thousands upon thousands. At least I would say over 20,000 feet in the air or whatever. Like I'm pretty sure the meteors are much further than his reach of pulling that shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have. I think something in him wanted to let him go. You know what I mean? The fact that the people were in his way and blocking him, so it's kind of like I'll let him go. But if he really was dead, if he really wanted to get them, I don't think them people were stopping him. You know what I mean? He could have used his abilities to like push all the people out his way and continue. You know what I'm saying? So it was something in him that it was like, you know what? I'll let him slide. You know what I mean?
telling you, man, watch whatever Fujitora seen. I'm telling you, That will be the reason why he won't join us or join the piracy
I
sides.
don't
Whatever.
know. I think
I
that will be the reason why
I,
he goes against the world government.
you done. I would. It's just like his stance on the warlord position. He has the same views. He says like I think he says the same thing Smoker said when he when he heard about crocodile. He says no matter what, a pirate is a pirate.
But who is letting that happen though?
The
Who
world government, which is why he wanted to
exactly?
get it. He wanted to
Yeah,
get rid of the. He
but
wanted to get it
but
abolished, and now
he
it's abolished.
he's
Now it's
obviously he's learning that the world government aren't all sugar and spice either. They could be just as treacherous as a lot of pirates. Just like Luffy, Luffy showed him that not all pirates are like Doflamingo or like the pirates that he don't like. You know what I'm saying? He's also learning
watch.
that the world government isn't. They could be just as bad as pirates. You know what I mean? So
He's gonna
everything's
see.
not black and white. It ain't just world government good, pirates bad. Like that's one thing he's witnessing that Luffy is even showing him. You know, he was even talking all this good stuff about Luffy. Like he was like, hey,
I
you
mean,
know, I want to see your
that's just.
face, huh?
But that's just Luffy.
Either way, but yeah, that is Luffy, but
Yeah,
still,
like Luffy, like I don't think Luffy is gonna make him change his viewpoint on other pirates. Luffy
but
is just one pirate.
you're looking at it as him just joining pirates, right? Like him just
Yeah.
going to the pirate side. It's not about it's not a side of the pirates versus the world government. It's going to like when like stuff split, if the world government splits, it's going to be about uh like the old bad order, the oppressive order against the order that's trying to bring in something new. You know, where Luffy is going to be fighting to bring in a new world that's going to be better for people, right? Where the world government, they could be trying to cleanse people, something that I'm pretty sure Fujitaro might not be for. You know, if you're against pirates doing pirate stuff, why would you be against the world government willing to kill innocent people? You know what I mean? Why would you be for that?
The I don't know, man. It's just like you can find like with each faction that will be aligned with Luffy, you can find a problem with each of them.
Yeah,
Maybe you could find a problem with the shards, but with each of them, you can find a major problem with them. And
yeah.
I don't know, maybe he will.
I'm speaking of Fujitaro's character. He seems like a man for the people. You know, he didn't like how Doflamingo was oppressing people, the people of Dressrosa. If he didn't care about people, he would like when the people was blocking him from attacking Luffy. Why would he just not run through him out of his loyalty towards the world government? He was willing to pretty much almost kind of go against the world government by not capturing Luffy, just to
Come on,
like
man.
more so protect
It's
people.
this is not the first time an admiral has held back themselves just to not hurt people.
What
And they
would
were,
what would,
and
what,
they hmm?
what would be the other time?
Kizaru.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it's not. It's just a part of their duty. They can't just be out here having innocents die from what they're doing.
Kizaru has a different mindset. I don't think Kizaru's like a order follower. He's like, look, you know, if you want me to kill this person, I'm gonna try to kill this person. Fujitaro was actually like he seemed a little more caring for people than somebody like Kizaru. Like you know what I mean? Like he's more caring. Like he was talking about like, oh, he was saying all this nice stuff about Luffy because people was loving Luffy, and he's like, hey, he seems more sympathetic, maybe empathetic, like them, like sympathetic too. But Fujitaro seems more somebody who you know, because Kizaru didn't try to get rid of the warlords. It was Fujitaro, right? Because he seen what the
Yeah,
warlords did to these countries, which he didn't like that, right? He didn't like that. If he was loyal to the world government, he wouldn't care about that. He would just be concerned with Like even if he didn't like pirates, he would just be like,
You
hey,
know what?
you
You
know,
bring a good argument. That was a good argument. Yeah.
you
Yeah, if
know,
he was loyal, he wouldn't care. Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
doesn't like pirates because he just sees them as bad. He just sees them as probably from what he experienced, he just seen that all they're capable of doing is being bad. But I believe that Luffy has shown Fujitaro that not all pirates are bad. You know, most of them might be, but there can be some that do good as well. You know, so that might open his eyes. Say, look, the world government isn't always like the world government were the ones who allowed uh Crocodile and Dressrosa or in Doflamingo to do what they do, right? That
I
was the world
mean,
government. They're
Crocodile,
partially responsible for that, or they're
Crocodile did
mostly
everything he did
responsible for that.
undercover.
Say what?
Crocodile did everything undercover.
Yeah, but he still was there at Revelry, and you know he was still there to kind of like witness their testimonies of Crocodile and Doflamingo. Like Doflamingo, he's seen that full hand, but still, that that was all sanctioned by the people he worked for. But I'm just saying the world government has a lot of blood on their hands, and I can see Fujitaro being the type that like, hey, you know, I'm not working for good people. You know, I'm somebody who like I can see like I look at Fujitaro as somebody who is a champion for good. He doesn't like pirates not be just because he doesn't like pirates. He just sees them as bad, you know. But he's seen Luffy as somebody who champions good as well. So Luffy grew on him. You know what I mean? And if the Marines do split indeed, I can see Fujitaro not going to join the pirates. He's joining the Marines that are against the bad of the world government. And the sword just happened. And sword is just going to happen to coincide with the goals of Luffy. So it's just more of a I work with you because all our goals coincide with each other.
I mean, we don't know what Sword's goal is.
We don't. But I'm speaking of a possible split down the world government. I
Oh
think the
yeah, yeah.
pieces are in place. You know, I could be wrong. The world government may not split, or the Marines may not split. I could be completely wrong. You know, again, it's speculation. You know, but
I just hope that Akainu goes out crazy, man. I hope he has a legendary battle.
I think he will. I don't know who he will fight though, but maybe Sabo possibly. So it could be like Ace versus like Sabo's fighting in
Yeah.
Ace's steed. You know, it'd be Ace pretty much revenging his death, like Sabo revenging Akainu's death.
Now, there's a character out there that needs to get their own revenge. You know, they need to get their get back.
Who?
They can't. Aokiji, what?
Aokiji need to get his revenge for what?
His legs. I mean, his leg, not legs.
It's not.
He lost.
He lost a fair fight.
Yeah.
you,
So
I'm,
get a rematch.
I mean, I guess he could get a rematch, but it's not like I believe Ace's death being avenged is more important than Aokiji's leg being avenged. I think that might be a little more pressing than Aokiji losing a fair fight that he accepted. You know, he gotta accept that loss.
No,
You know, if
you
he
know,
would have
Ace.
won, he wouldn't have got no revenge. You know, he lost a fair fight that they both agreed on. You know, it's not like Akainu took somebody important away from Akiji. You know.
Yeah, but you know the Ace. I don't. I mean, whatever happens, happens. If they do get revenge for Ace, they get revenge. I mean, I don't see Luffy doing it. I can only see Sabo doing it.
I just don't know if Luffy has the time, and it's like I don't know if Akainu is even going to be matched for Luffy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What do you mean?
I just see like Luffy beating Kaido like Akainu, really. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you trying to say Kaido's stronger than Akainu?
yeah, yeah,
You know, I'm not even gonna argue that.
yeah. I mean,
We'll have to we'll have
I,
to wait.
I believe he is. I don't. Again, I said admirals are. I don't. I believe admirals are weaker than Yonko. Not by a huge gap, but you know, I think at this point,
He's not any admiral. He's the fleet admiral.
I think at this point, yeah, that's a title, man. That's still a title. You know, he is fleet admiral, but
Yeah.
again,
And
but
that's his name. Buggy showed that being a Yonko is just a title.
now it is. Now it is. But look, but you're talking to somebody who it doesn't accept Buggy as a Yonko, you know, because it came from Big News Morgan. Again, y'all, I beat this horse so many times. I'm not somebody who just think just because Big News Morgans proclaims it that it's law now. You know what I mean? I'm not somebody that believes that. I think
To me,
I,
the only reason why I find it believable is because why I feel like Big News Morgan is the most trustworthy person when it comes to this stuff is because from what we've seen, he usually gives evidence and reasoning for why he believes said person should be this.
But that's one thing to say somebody should be this, but to sit here and proclaim
I
somebody
I
to
don't
be Yonko,
I
that's
mean
not.
we haven't even seen what he said about Buggy or what he says about Luffy.
We
We
haven't,
haven't really,
but all I'm saying is he's not the person. I'm just saying I don't believe him to be the person to proclaim that. You know what I'm saying? It's like what if Kaido was just chilling in Onigashima and then Big News Morgan decided to make a paper and say, "Hey, Kaido's not a Yonko anymore." Does
I
the
mean if he
reality of
gives
it change? Does that change the fact that Kaido still
yeah,
owns most of the territory
but
in the New
I
World
mean like
and
what do
he's still
you
one of
think
the
his
strongest characters? No, that doesn't change it. But just
no
because
it
Big News
depends
Morgan says it's factual now.
no it depends on the reasons. You know the Buggy thing.
It doesn't
The
matter the
Buggy thing.
reasons. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. I'm saying
The
Big
reasons
News
don't matter to me.
Morgans is not the authority on who is a Yonko or not. That's all I'm saying.
Then
That's
who
what
is the authority?
who's the authority. It's who's in power. It's like if I'm the king of a country and then you proclaim somebody else to be the king of the country, but they have zero actual power in controlling that country. They're not the king. It doesn't matter if who wants to proclaim it or not. If they can't sit there and tell their soldiers, like their army, to go to war,
Hey,
they're not the
as far as
king.
we
If people
Kaido
aren't
and Big Mom.
if people aren't kneeling out down to them, they're not the king. Just because the
What do you mean,
newspaper
bro?
proclaims
Buggy,
of it,
Buggy,
if they don't have the credentials to back this proclamation up.
yeah, the credentials are the reasonings for why they are that. Like he would give credentials. He gives reasonings for everything, and we haven't seen the reasoning for Buggy yet, so
But
we can't really say anything about it.
again,
Well,
but you're going off of what he said. Again, I don't proclaim what Big News Morgan said. He he proclaimed Luffy to be a Yonko before Luffy even has any territory or anything. Like Luffy doesn't own no territory in the New World. You know, like when I look at
yeah,
when I
but
look when I look hold on when
said
I look at when I look at when I look at the previous Yonko, right? When I look at Blackbeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks, what do they all have in common? Like they're all Yonko, but what do they have in common? They're all individually super strong, like
hmm
enough to where if they was to fight, like anybody would fear fighting them individually. I think Luffy has finally got to that point. Um, they all have an army or a fleet of some sort. You know, I think Luffy has a fleet. You know, like he does have a fleet now, and they all have territory in the New World specifically. They all have territory in the New World, which which is important to be a king or emperor. You have to have territory. You know, Luffy, I feel as though he can, at this point, since he's beaten Big Mom and Kaido, he could actually proclaim all their territory. You know, he could proclaim Yonko or uh, Wano. He could proclaim Fishman Island. You know, he has a fleet. He has individually strong power. So now I'm okay with accepting Luffy as an official Yonko. You know, Buggy. Last we heard, he was fighting the Navy. I don't see Buggy getting a bunch of
Come on.
territory in the New World in this short span. Like,
What do you
I'm
mean?
just saying, Big News
Buggy,
Morgan isn't the authority. That's all I'm saying. I gotta if I see something substantial from Buggy, like some tangibles from Buggy to warrant him being Yonko, then maybe I can accept it. But right now, I'm just going off of Big News Morgan's word, and that's not how I believe it works. Is all I'm saying.
but come on, you can't lie. When everything he says, when he said everything about Luffy being able to be considered the fifth emperor, everything he says, like every reason why he said that you could consider him,
Not at
like
that moment.
every
Not at that
was
moment. I
valid.
couldn't. Not at that moment. I couldn't.
I know, but like the reasons he gave you were a valid reason to assume that.
No.
Come on, man. He says, uh,
Just because Luffy went to Big Mom's territory and caused some, he didn't beat Big Mom. He didn't like beat a Yonko. He just went to her territory and escaped. He went to the territory, got Sanji, messed some things up, caused a bunch of commotion in Whole Cake Island, and escaped. He didn't get no territory from that. He didn't beat nobody.
but
I
listen,
mean, he beat Katakuri, but he didn't beat Big Mom. Like, no.
I mean, it's
What are
not
you
the
talking
only
about? What are you talking about? I'm just supposed to accept that. No. Now, yes. Now, yeah. At that time,
No, I'm not
no.
that Luffy was. I'm just saying that he gave good reasons for why someone could assume that. Come on.
No.
I'm
No.
it and the
I'm
Big Mom
disagreeing
thing
with you.
wasn't
You could
something.
keep saying come on all you want. No.
Bro, you can't lie, bro. Those were good reasons.
Bro,
Come on,
I'm
five
not
thousand,
lying. No, they're
five
not good reasons. What reasons did he
brother.
give? What reasons did he give?
He said, Luffy, what's it called? Luffy has seven powerful pirate crews under his way, combining the authorities of captain with over 5,000 followers, the notary of brotherhood with both
Because he has a
Ace and the
fleet. Him
of
having
the
a fleet. Him
revolutionary Sabo, the extreme charisma and
that's
leadership
not reasons. The only reason you said
im-
that is partially I'll give you is the fleet part, but continue though, continue.
okay, the extreme charisma and leadership to assume impromptu command over the formidable trio of the army of evil Germa 66, the pirates of the sun, and the fire tank pirates. The calculated, strategic brilliance to execute the destructions of the Queen's castle, and the strength to defeat her officers worth 800 million and 1 billion berries. The result of the incidents was clear to
So
all
so
that
pretty
Luffy
much
would
he's strong enough to be a thorn in the Yonko side. Makes him a Yonko.
You didn't say,
No, no.
but
The only reason I'll give you is the fleet. The only reason why I could give you is the fleet. You know, like I mean, some of those reasons are reasons he could potentially be a Yonko, but not to why he is a Yonko. They're not reasons to why he's a Yonko. I disagree with
I
you on
mean,
that.
I don't think Luffy was
It,
Yonko then either. I'm
like
just
if he
saying,
would
like
if he
he,
beat
he,
if he beat Big
he
Mom, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. But until
I'm not
that,
saying
until that,
just
I
he at least
I
gives
disagree,
reasons.
man. I disagree.
He at least reasons for the things he says. Can we
Yeah,
agree on that? He at least gives reasons for the things he says.
yeah, but all right, man. But yeah. So anyway, let's. You got any other predictions for like next chapter? What we getting next chapter, man? What is we getting next chapter? What you think? Or
Next
the next
chapter,
upcoming chapters? It don't have to be next chapter. Upcoming chapters. You know.
I don't. I feel like next chapter. I think we might get a Ryuma. Maybe we'll get it. I mean, it could be any of the next
Some
chapters.
Ryuma stuff. Yeah, I like that.
Yes,
I like the idea of some Ryuma stuff.
I hope
You know,
we get some Ryuma stuff.
some
I
Zoro,
don't.
some Zoro and
I
Ryuma.
don't.
Maybe his
And from
bloodline.
the way And from the way Momonosuke was talking this chapter, maybe Luffy plans on leaving pretty soon.
Yeah,
Who knows? From the way he was talking for this chapter, it seems like Luffy plans on leaving pretty soon. So who knows how soon that will be?
yeah,
Could be next chapter, could be chapter after. I don't know.
yeah. I'm thinking we gonna get. I could see the Zoro Ryuma stuff. You know, I think some Zoro, maybe some Zoro connection with Ryuma, possibly the Shimosuke, right? Um, I'm also thinking we see. I don't know the next chapter specifically, but maybe maybe next few chapters we'll see the fate of Kaido and Big Mom, just to see what actually happened with them, right? Like I think we're still kind of in the dark with that, so I don't know. I don't know. And well, what else we got? Trying to think of some storylines. Maybe now I'm not saying in the next chapter but I think soon, especially now that Wano's about to end, and you know how we get those in between art stuff. What's going on in the world? Maybe learn what Blackbeard's doing. Like that's what I'm kind of learn what Blackbeard's doing. Uh,
See what the revolutionaries doing. See what you know. This chapter just makes me even more. Last chapter makes me more confused. Why was the Don crying?
who?
Hmm?
Why was who crying?
The Don, because last chapter, it shows that Sabo is still alive and he just killed Nefertari Cobra. What? Why was she crying? I'm just so confused. Maybe she was crying of
The
joy. Who
Don?
knows? But
The Don?
who? Yeah, the Don.
Oh, why was the Don crying? You know what?
Yeah,
I think it makes sense. I think there's a perfectly logical or a perfect reason for that. Mate, she just learned that Sabo is alive.
hmm
She that's probably why she was crying. She just learned that
I know.
Sabo's alive. She didn't know
I know, but
Sabo
she
this
said.
whole time. She thought Sabo was dead.
I know, but she said this whole time I thought you were dead, and then he what? And then he does what? Why are you crying at the fact that he killed the Cobra?
Oh, I mean, maybe like that makes him a super wanted criminal, right? That
And
like
like, this the One Piece world is very confusing because how do they know about like
I mean
no, I'm not gonna say.
I think she was crying because Sabo was alive, but she was still reading the newspaper. But I think like if you just found out somebody was alive and they killed somebody, like you would probably be shocked that they killed somebody, but you also be crying because you just discovered they're alive. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
I don't know about you, but yeah, I'll be shocked.
like just imagine finding out somebody's alive, right? It don't matter what they did, you'll be crying. You know what I mean? Like you might be crying. I don't know you specifically, but you might be crying because like, oh, you're alive. So you start crying, but then you also figure out they just killed somebody. Like, you're alive, but why you kill people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. Best thing I can think of is her crying was because he was alive. You know what I mean? Last thing to talk about. What do you think Shanks is after? I mean, he was
Oh,
kind of under. He was trying to look for the poneglyph. Do you that's why he was in Wano, right? To get that last
I mean,
poneglyph because he was talking about finding the One Piece. You think he got it? Because we in this chapter we seen Shanks like leaving,
yeah,
so he never
I mean,
actually went to Wano to get the poneglyph. But in this chapter we also learned where the poneglyph was.
well, yeah, he can swim.
I mean, I don't know if Shanks can swim. You need two arms for that, but
Uh,
maybe he got a fisherman on his crew though. You know,
nah, you just need your legs to swim, man. But yeah, maybe he did. Huh.
if Shanks was swimming, he'd be swimming to like the left or the right or whatever. Or no, he'd be swimming to the left. They be swimming in circles. What are you talking about? Like your
For real.
arms is what kind of make you swim to the left and right. So he might have a fisherman on his squad, or maybe one of his crewmates wanted to go get like a rubbing. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Him, and the One Piece stuff. It's gonna be weird. I don't know. I just a lot of people are taking it differently. Him saying he's going to find the One Piece. I don't know. I didn't. Well, he said he's gonna claim it. Actually, he didn't even say he was gonna find it. He's gonna claim it, so he's
Yeah.
gonna take it.
Talking about the poneglyph, let me ask you this. So Koski's Sukiyaki, he was talking about how Jack, being a fisherman, he was pretty much the one who found the poneglyph. But it's like Jack has a devil fruit.
Yeah.
So it's like, how is he able to swim down and find this poneglyph? So I'm thinking this might have had to be like pre-devil fruit Jack. I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I agree with that.
I think that's the best explanation. You know,
before he got the devil fruit, because I don't know how else it would be possible for him to. Pluton.
We learned that the border, in order to get to it, I guess you would have to destroy the borders. Do you think they'll be destroying the border in this arc? Because we know Momonosuke pretty much told Zunisha like, "Hey,
no,
we're not destroying the border."
No, but
there will come a time, though. I believe.
I think I don't think it'll happen right in this arc, but I think the borders will be destroyed sooner than we think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen in this arc, but I do believe it will happen eventually when the time comes for them to use the ancient weapons. You know. So
yeah.
it's just, you know, how did that border even happen? Like, it was just 1 minute Wano's at sea level, the next minute we got borders. You know. Only thing I could think of is Pika's devil fruit possibly being used.
I don't know about.
I'm not saying Pika. I didn't say Pika. I'm saying his devil
fruit.
Pika wasn't around at that time.
No, I'm not talking about Pika. I mean his devil fruit. I don't know about him using his devil fruit, because the ground isn't. Wait, hold on. The borders isn't made out of stone. It's like dirt and rock. So I don't know if it would have been.
I don't think Pika's devil. I think his devil fruit could move land as well, though.
Yeah, it can only move stone stuff made out of stone.
Is that the case? So yeah, maybe there's a dirt devil fruit user.
Yeah, that's yeah, maybe dirt. Yeah, I'm honestly.
Someone like Pika's devil fruit, but instead of stone.
You know who fit that? What's his name? Smoker.
Smoker. Because said what?
There's Smoker. He's sand. There's dirt. There's sand and there's dirt isn't. I mean, sand isn't dirt.
You mean crocodile?
Yeah, crocodile. Oh, did I say Smoker?
Yeah, I'm like, what Smoker got to do anything?
Oh my.
I'm like, you trying to say smoke is dirt? Like, what are you talking about?
I mean crocodile. Yeah, crocodile. You know, there's sand and dirt. So maybe someone with his devil fruit or high level. Maybe that's like the peak of his devil fruit. He can control dirt and not just sand.
What if it was the Gorosei, the world government? Maybe they wanted to shut off Wano or something, you know, so people couldn't. You know, I don't know. You know, like because say what?
For some reason, I like, especially this Pluton stuff. It makes me think like the world government created or had a big involvement in the creations of the ancient weapons every time. Like especially with the recent chapters, like they knew how, like they knew the only way that Pluton can be i- activated is by destroying the borders.
Yeah.
So there is that, and then there's that, bro. And then there's just so much stuff, and then there's even Kaido. You know, Kaido's been looking, you know, for Pluton from the dots that I've connected. He's probably been looking for Pluton. Pluton is probably the only reason why he came to Wano from the dots I've connected. But who knows, man? It's pretty interesting.